Hey there, TZH here, and today we will be checking out apparently the ultimate YouTube studio desk setup for 2022. So by Omar Takori at Think Media. If you don't know, they are like this YouTube channel that focuses on YouTube stuff. So yeah, like YouTube progress and things like that. So let's see whether his YouTube desk setup studio is like really an ultimate one. So if you like these types of videos, make sure to drop me a like to let me know, and comment down below what other videos like me to check out next, and I'll be sure to do so. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you would like to see more stuff like that. By enough talking, let's get right into the video and let's see how good this setup is. Okay, kind of nice.
This is my ultimate video studio desk setup. Let's break it down.
You gotta just press record.
Hey, what's up? It's Omar Takori with Think Media. Now, I'll be sure to post links down to everything in this setup down in the description below, so be sure to check that out. And if you have any questions as I go through this, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll do my best to get to any and all of those comments. But with that being said, let's start with the desk itself, being a Husky desk. So this is from Home Depot, and although I would call this a desk, technically it is a workbench, but it is a super high quality,
okay, that's kind of interesting,
with a metal bottom. And I love that these actually come with wheels. It's super clutch.
Caster wheels.
Totally move this around, and I'll show you a little bit. But it is also a sit stand desk. It's just not electric. You have to like crank that soldier boy right there. And then you're able to change it. But this comes in many different colors. This is the 54 by 24 inches, so 54 inches wide, 24 inches deep, and this comes with a drawer, and I love it. Oh, look at that. This is YouTube Secrets by Sean Cannell and Benji Travis. If you are looking to level up your YouTube game this year, check out this book. I'll put a link to it down in the description below. But I'm a tech YouTuber, hence the messy desk. This is a $240 desk. Absolutely love it. Love how high quality it is.
I mean, you could get like a standing desk for that price, like a cheaper one.
Also comes with. But let's talk about the brains of this whole operation. So I run everything off of this Mac Mini with the M1 chip, and let me tell you what, this thing is fast. It is quiet.
Yeah, if you want, you can upgrade to the Mac Pro. Honestly,
I got the the 1 terabyte internal SSD, and I think I upped the RAMs as well. But you can get this base for about $600, which is insane knowing how fast it is. I actually have it mounted to my monitor with the use of... Honestly,
I would prefer him to flip it over, so that the fan is facing out, so that more cooling.
Command strip.
That's what I would recommend.
Mount it on the back of the computer, so it literally takes up no...
Actually, I prefer you to use VESA screws.
It's been hanging out here for a while, but that is what's running everything. From the Mac Mini, I have it hooked up to
doesn't look the best
CalDigit TS3
okay.
And this is essentially a glorified dongle. Has the SD card reader, so it's easy to do that. It has a couple other...
Yeah, I recommend you to put it under the monitor for him instead of at the side, so it's easier to reach, But that's just me.
So it's easy to do that. It has a couple other ports at the front of it, which I love. But it also has great like Thunderbolt 3 ports and so many other ports, as the Mac Mini is kind of limited, as you can see with the amount of ports it has. So something like that pairs really well with the Mac Mini, and it creates essentially my computer. Now, another extension of my actual Mac Mini and the CalDigit would be these are called SSDs, solid state drives. And these are both like 2 terabyte drives. You can see how
I'm wondering, instead of getting like really small capacity ones, why not get one that is really big capacity, like maybe a 4 or 8 terabyte external SSD,
for anything when it comes to creating content, editing videos, doing photography and things like that. But
in my own opinion, at least,
into my CalDigit literally just expands additional storage. So
yeah, true.
These are super clutch. Now, when it comes to
technically, if you want external storage, you could just get a really big SSD and just have it constantly plugged in, and that becomes your storage. That's a really good way to save money. For any of you out there, don't pay for extra storage. Just get one of those SSDs or hard drive, really high capacity one, plug it in, and you basically don't even have to remember or think about it. And best of all, if you are changing computers, you have everything on that, you just plug it into another computer and you're good to go. Or you want to change computers and stuff like that, you are good to go.
mouse, I love this thing. It
So
is
don't pay more for
actually
internal
both
storage.
Logitech products. So this is the MX series of Logitech things. So this one is their mechanical.
Yep, the full size one,
keyboard.
since it's productivity, full size makes more sense. I personally love TKL. I mean 60%.
Because
So
of the sounds it makes. And then the mouse that I use is the MX Master 3. This is
3S came out, you know what to do, Omar.
Things that they have this wheel on the side, the wheel on the top,
Mm-hmm.
other side buttons that you could program to do whatever you want it to do. And so love that stuff. And in continuation of control, I have what is called the Loop Deck.
this is surprising thing to see, because usually you would see like a Stream Deck, but you won't usually see the Loop Deck live.
On steroids.
I think this is better than Stream Deck, in my opinion, in terms of hardware.
Buttons on the screen that you see, you can also customize these tactile buttons as well as these knobs.
They click in as well.
You know, if you're editing video or photo, you can adjust this stuff. Maybe it's volume, but these are like my quick actions because I visit these websites a ton. And so that's what makes up the brains and the computer of this actual setup. Let's break down.
Honestly, I'll have the Loop Deck live. I will honestly have him tilted it up a bit so it's easier to see and easier to access rather than it being flat.
And how I even mount this thing right over.
And also get a wrist rest for your keyboard. You know, talk about ergonomics a lot. Get a wrist rest for your keyboard. Really cheap. You can get one for like $10, and it honestly will save you a lot of pain.
So the first monitor is my main monitor. This is the monitor that I put everything essentially on. It is a 32-inch 4K IPS monitor from ViewSonic. I've had this.
Yeah, I guess for what he's doing, he want to prioritize like a big screen real estate and also really good color accuracy. Refresh rate, all that, doesn't really need to care. It's not using it for gaming.
And it's not a cheap monitor. It is about $800. But
yeah,
I
definitely
honestly don't know another monitor that is this incredible as far as color accuracy. And
there are a lot. The Asus Pro Art ones,
like super clean, close to the edge and things like that. And so this 32-inch works fine for me. I think 27 would be good. It is not a cheap monitor, but I definitely because I've been using it for 4 years, I'll like vouch for this all day. And I don't think it's anywhere near being outdated. Absolutely love this monitor. I have it mounted.
Don't advertise on Google Ads or Facebook before blocking click fraud with Clixies. Not a fun fact. 1 out of every 4 clicks.
Okay.
Kind of like this, and it's off to the side, which actually, because it's like low at eye level, it allows my camera to be at eye level as well.
Okay. Yeah, usually you want your camera at eye level and then like your monitor is slightly below.
Monitor. Now, I'm not too worried about this monitor being like super color accurate or anything like that. This is a 1080 monitor that costs around $130 or $40. It's by G-Tech. But here's why I love this monitor. It's solely powered on a Thunderbolt 3.
Yeah, but I think
so
the whole point of these monitors is it's portable. Since you're using it in a setup like this, I'll honestly just recommend you to just get another like 32-inch or like whatever size monitor, and then just place it on top of your camera. Like that, and just facing it below you. I think you have much more screen real estate, and it's much more screen real estate for like the price. You can probably get, not wrong, a 32-inch 1080p monitor for like the same price of 27-inch.
This just plugs right into the Cal Digit, and then I have a.
This is using it for productivity. He mainly just needs size.
Like placed right over there, but when I was doing live streams, I found myself looking down when I should be looking up. So I've actually mounted this monitor with the use of a tablet mount. So this just clamps right onto the desk itself, and then it's just holding the
that's
monitor.
Pretty smart.
So thin and lightweight and portable. It holds it like a champ, but these two monitors work wonders. And again, the real reason I have this mounted there is because I usually do live streams and I share a slide or a video or a screen. I just put whatever I want to share on this monitor, and so that I know when I share it that everything that's seen on this monitor is what people are going to see. It kind of
that's kind of interesting
when you're live streaming. But those are the monitors.
It mimics like a laptop and then
awesome.
Monitor setup.
Links down to everything in the description below. But let's break down some of that AVL action that you've probably been wondering about. So the camera that I use for this setup is the Sony ZV-E10. I use this camera for a lot of my YouTube videos.
Pretty decent.
I use it for the live streams.
I mainly use the A6500, but you know.
It honestly is one of the best cameras.
Yeah, since he's using it like a stationary position, you know, he doesn't need stuff like in-body image stabilization, lens stabilization, all that. He doesn't need it since it's just there, you know, it doesn't move.
This way, as it does have a clean HDMI feed, so I plug in an HDMI cable into the back of the Mac Mini, which goes into a capture card first. But I vouch for this camera all day, and the lens that I'm using is the Sigma 16.
Oh yeah, the classic
1.4 lens. This lens gives you the blurriest of backgrounds, and when you pair it with the ZV-E10,
not really. It gives you a really wide and then blurry.
The ZV-E10 has great autofocus, and so when you're at about arm's length distance, like I am when I live stream, I'm kind of like, this is my view. It gives you the perfect kind of medium wide shot with a blurry background. And so that is
I would say it's a pretty wide shot.
This is kind of a backup. I have a Logitech Brio, and I use this if I'm not really lighting myself, if maybe I'm doing a Zoom call and it really doesn't matter about the quality. And if this ever just goes out, I have a secondary option. So that's the Logitech Brio.
Actually, I would recommend, if he can, he probably should upgrade to the Insta360 Mini like webcam. I think that would be much better option than this webcam. Plus, you know, you can move around and stuff like that. Since this camera can't really move around, he could make more use of the Insta360 webcam and, you know, have it move around and stuff like that. You know, facing it, you know, for like B-roll or whatever stuff. You know, have it track him, you know, if he's moving to a different part of the room, and switch to that instead. In my opinion.
Plugged into the Cal Digit over there. Hey, Cal Digit. And so that handles the video side of things.
Okay.
Now, when it comes to lighting, if I am doing a Zoom call, I'm probably just using the good old Think Neon sign as my light. But when it comes to the
not
light
very good.
when I like stream, and
okay.
when I want to make sure I'm lit well, I use the Amaran 60D. This is a phenomenal cob light that produces a nice soft light on my face.
Doesn't this have a remote? You can just turn it on and off, just mount it to his desk. I think that would be a much better option.
Using it for live streaming. I got the power coming out of the back of my computer, and so a great light if you want a flattering, soft, large light on your face. I use this light for like 95% of my YouTube videos, and so that is the light. Let's talk about the mic since we talked about the light. I've gone through a ton of mics, but I have landed on booming my mic out of the shot when I'm doing streams and things like that. But I use the Rode Video Mic Go 2. This is about $100 mic, and I have it clamped onto this friction arm. But here's what's so cool about using HDMI to live stream is you can actually plug in your audio source directly into the camera. As you can see, that's what it is at the bottom. It's plugged in at the bottom of the HDMI. And then in my software or whatever I'm using to stream or do Zoom calls with or whatever, you just select the cam link as your audio source. So I think this mic sounds amazing.
But the bad thing about that is that you're using the preamps of your camera, which, if you know, preamps of your camera is not very good. So the preamps of your computer, Mac Mini, I think is much better in my opinion. Or you could get something external to process it, like the Blackstone GS3 like I'm using right now for my microphone. So, you know, you get much better and consistent, you know, audio quality in my opinion.
Mic as a USB mic if you wanted to plug it in via USB. But let me just show you, I have the Rode mic on this friction arm, and these friction arms not only hold up the microphone, but it also holds up my camera. So I got two friction arms.
Okay, that's good.
Let me just show you, I'm going to show you this, even though don't judge me. This is all the cables that I have.
Yeah, not the best, but hey, at least you can't really see much.
You don't see no cables but one, boy. What you want to do? So it's okay. It's okay that it's messy back there. But these friction arms are clamped onto my actual monitor, which is super cool, and it keeps everything secure. And if I raise up the monitor, the camera and the mic goes with it. Obviously, if I crank,
actually a better option I think he could do is to, since his camera is so close to his face, you probably just mount it like on top of the cold shoe and just have it right here. And then instead of having it like on top, you know, and picking up desk noises, you could just have it like right here in face. I think that would be much better, in my opinion at least.
Raise up the monitor,
but you know, personal preference.
And the mic goes with it. Obviously, if I crank the desk itself, same thing. But that is super key when you're dialing this stuff in. And speaking of sound, I have these Audio Engine speakers with a
these are pretty decent
riser. Kind of just put some rubber in between the desk and the speakers and angle them up. But these speakers are so good, they sound amazing. And if you're doing video editing work or whatever, podcast editing, you're going to want some good speakers. Again, links down to everything in the description below. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I have a hair light that's like suspended on the ceiling. It is a light that I have a remote controlled to, and it's held up by this tension rod. I break this down in another video that I'll link at the end of this video, but this just gives me a nice separation from my background. I guess it's important to note the chair. I have this ergonomic chair.
Oh,
that's what the brand is, ergonomic.
UK's autonomous, if I'm not mistaken, is it?
Real quick, I just want to tell you about cable management and how I keep this thing clean from the front. So you can actually buy these trays on Amazon.
Yeah,
actually,
I got one.
You know, your power source.
Well, mine is like clamping to the desk instead of drilling it to the desk.
So much. And so I do my best to kind of like keep the cables high and hidden, so that when you are on the other side of my desk, you have almost the look of no cables. So not pretty from the back, but pretty from the front, you know, and that's how we like it. Dude, I'm just kidding. So that kind of wraps up my video studio desk. Be sure to check out YouTube Secrets. Put a link to it down in the comments if you want to level up your YouTube channel. And if you want to check out how I make videos in this office.
Okay, yeah, let me take a look at this desk setup and let me give you my opinions on it. Okay, so let's see the whole entire desk setup.
Technically, it is a workbench, but
okay, yeah, so let me get a good shot of his desk setup. Okay, so this is desk setup. Okay, so yeah, things that I'll recommend, probably instead of having this monitor right here, you could have a bigger monitor. You know, for the same price, you could have like a bigger 32-inch or 24 or whatever inch monitor mounted, right here, and still have your camera and your webcam mounted here. Webcam, if you can, Insta360 mini webcam. I think that will be a much better option. You can not only use that as your backup webcam, but you can also use that for different things, like maybe when you're moving around, you can still use that. Maybe to track your face and stuff like that, or maybe you can use it for a B-roll to show things at the bottom. That is one use case as well. For your cal digit, put it closer to you instead of just facing right there. Make sure it faces you so you can plug it in easier. Loop deck live, angle it a bit more. I think that'll be much better. And honestly, standing desk, I would recommend you to get an electric standing desk. I think that works much better. Microphone, you don't really need this, kind of unnecessary. You can just mount it straight to the camera itself, and make sure to have some sort of audio interface or like USB sound card and plug into your computer. I recommend a USB sound card audio interface to do so that you don't use the crappy preamps on your mic on your camera. And yeah, if you're using a good capture card, it shouldn't have any video latency. And yeah, usually like USB sound cards and audio interfaces don't really have much latency, so you don't really have to worry about that. And yeah, of course, get a wrist rest. That would save you a ton of wrist pain. And also for cable management, yeah, I think you should do better on the cable management, but of course, you can definitely work on that. Recommend you the video from TechSource on his cable management guide. Really recommend you to check that out. And yeah, but aside from that, I think his setup is pretty good, pretty decent. Wouldn't call it the ultimate, no shade to him, wouldn't call it an ultimate setup. But yeah, I would say it's a pretty good setup, with some improvements. Who knows, it might be an ultimate setup for YouTube. But anyways, if you like these types of videos, make sure to drop me a like to let me know, and comment down below whose setups you'd like me to check out next, and I'll be sure to do so. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to like and of course subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching. Omar, make sure to take some of my advice, and I think your setup will be even much better, even cleaner, and even just much more convenient and comfortable for you. And I hope to see y'all in the next video.